Have you inherited a Roth IRA? If so, you need to do these 4 things. I've got that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. The Roth IRA came out in 1997. It actually was sort of passed in 97, but it wasn't officially available for use until 98. The contribution limit, $2,000. $2,000. And so, I don't know. I'm an oldster, so I remember I was in college actually when that was going on. I remember this new thing called a Roth IRA. And when I started my career, oftentimes as we'd explain it to people, they just really didn't believe that's how it worked. So ultimately, it really has just gotten a lot of traction over the past 10 years, maybe 15 years. The Roth 401k started in 2006, and yes, I was definitely in my career then, and because the Roth IRA had already been around for a little bit, people were a little familiar with that. It wasn't, that shocking. However, most companies didn't start offering a Roth 401k right away. It wasn't until, probably since 2010 that the Roth IRA, I would say Roth IRA, Roth 401k really got mainstream. So what that means is while people are still building up Roth accounts, Roth IRAs, Roth 401ks, there hasn't been as many circumstances in the past of people inheriting Roth IRAs or Roth 401ks. Has it happened? Of course it has. It's just not, it's not as common because many people in the oldest generation, they don't have Roth IRAs because of their recency, right? But it is happening more and more since Roth IRAs have been around for over 20 years now, 25 years, and Roth 401ks around for almost 20. So it's happening more and more. If you inherit a Roth IRA from your spouse, you are legally allowed to just turn that into your own Roth IRA. You don't need to keep it as a special, separate, inherited Roth IRA. You can turn it into your own, and 999 times out of 1,000, you're going to want to do that. Essentially, if you inherit a Roth IRA from your spouse, you'll want to turn that into your own Roth IRA. But if you inherit a Roth IRA from someone else, maybe from a parent, maybe from a sibling, maybe from another individual, what should you do with that inherited Roth IRA? Well, the first and obvious thing is you're going to want to work with a certified financial planner to set up an inherited Roth IRA account. That's right. So if you're inheriting it from someone that is not your spouse, you actually have to set up a special type of Roth IRA, okay? It's a BDA, beneficial designated account, or inherited Roth IRA, whatever you want to call it. Those are semantics, but it's a special type of account that sort of signifies this is not your account. It was someone else's, and you inherited it, okay? So you're gonna set that up, and in doing so, the reason why you're gonna wanna work with a CFP is you're gonna wanna make a couple decisions. One, that is, how are you gonna invest these dollars? And then 2, who should be the beneficiary for this account should you pass away while you own it? So that's the first thing that you really need to do. There's really no question about it. You need to do that one, so that's step 1. The second thing that you're gonna wanna do if you inherit a Roth IRA is sort of a double negative. Don't withdraw any money unless you absolutely have to. So here's the rules with when are you forced to take money out. Over 10 years. You have 10 years. If the individual that you inherited the Roth IRA from died after 1/1 of 2020, then you've got 10 years to withdraw the account. As of right now with Roth IRAs, with inherited Roth IRAs, there's no requirement that you've got to take a little bit out every single year over those 10 years. It's just the account needs to be emptied 10 years from that, from the year that the individual died, the year you inherited it. And so because the Roth IRA is after tax money in, tax sheltered activity, and then you can pull the growth out of that Roth IRA, even inherited Roth IRA, tax free, typically you don't want to touch this inherited Roth IRA until you absolutely have to, giving it as much time for tax sheltered and tax-free growth as possible. Now, I have no idea, what the market's going to do tomorrow, next week, in the next month, in the next year. But the longer that time horizon goes, the more likely that the odds are that the investment will grow. Okay, over a 10-year time period, there's only been a handful where the U.S. stock market has been negative. And when you're looking at an entire diversified portfolio of large, mid, small U.S. stocks and bonds, and international stocks and bonds, real estate, it's very, very, very unlikely that over a 10-year time period that investment will be down. Is it possible? Absolutely it is, but it's less likely. Therefore, get a prudent investment strategy, but hands off that inherited Roth IRA. Don't touch it unless you absolutely need to. So then the third thing that you should do is sort of contrary to that one, and that is consider using that inherited Roth IRA to reinvest into your own Roth IRA or Roth 401k. Now, this is the planning strategy that the entire video is about, okay? When you are inheriting a Roth IRA from someone that's not your spouse, there's a time limit to it. You can enjoy the tax-deferred and tax-free growth for as long as you want, up to 10 years. That's it. There's a limit, okay? And so sort of that second rule is, enjoy that as long as possible. But what would be better than enjoying that for 10 years? Enjoying it for your entire life and then another 10 years beyond that. How do you do that? Turn the dollars into your own Roth IRA. Well, there's a two-step process there. Are you eligible to contribute to a Roth IRA? If so, are you maximizing that contribution? If you're not, then I would consider every single year drawing some money out of your inherited Roth and throwing it into your Roth. If you're eligible to do it, why not do so? If your spouse, same thing. If you're eligible, your spouse is eligible to contribute to a Roth IRA, but they're not maximizing that contribution, pull money out of the inherited Roth IRA and contribute to that spousal Roth IRA. That will allow you to make sure that your inherited Roth IRA is empty within 10 years, but allow you to get that tax-deferred and tax-free growth on those dollars much, much, much longer. And if you look at the Roth IRA and say, well, it's a $6,500 contribution limit, an extra $1,000 if you're age 50 or older, it's going to take me a long time to get there. What about the Roth 401k? Are you maximizing your 401k contribution? Does it make sense for you to do Roth 401k? And are you maximizing your contribution? You can do $22,500 this year, plus another $7,500 if you're age 50 or older, 30 grand. If you're, and the reason why I'm pointing out the catch-ups is not only should you be aware of those, but if you're inheriting a Roth IRA from someone, it's very possible they've passed away at an older age, therefore you're inheriting it at an older age. You might be eligible for these catch-up contributions. And again, don't just withdraw dollars from this inherited Roth IRA willy-nilly, but possibly look to pull dollars out and reinvest them in your own Roth IRA or Roth 401k so you can enjoy that tax-free growth much longer. Another add-on to this sort of third idea of reinvesting the inherited Roth IRA is, do you have an HSA eligible high deductible health plan? If so, are you maximizing it? And if you are maximizing, are you using it for your medical expenses on an ongoing basis, or are you treating that HSA as an investment HSA, a long-term HSA? If you're not, consider using and reinvesting the dollars from this inherited Roth IRA into that HSA. Why? Because those dollars, again, it's sort of trying to preserve that tax-free growth that you get within the inherited Roth IRA. That same tax-free growth exists within the HSA as well. It's just only tax-free when you withdraw if it's for qualifying medical expenses. Most people are going to have a lot of those, and therefore consider that reinvestment as well. And then the fourth thing that you need to do if you're inheriting a Roth IRA from someone that's not your spouse, and this is sort of one of the things that you should do as part of that very first step of opening that inherited Roth IRA, creating new beneficiaries, is update the investment approach, the investment allocation. It's very likely the individual that you inherited the Roth IRA from had a different time horizon for that investment than you do. And therefore, you're going to want to make sure that you're using a prudent investment strategy that's appropriate risk for your time horizon and for what you need those dollars to do. And further, I would have a bias towards growth type investments or dollars that have the potential for growth inside of that inherited Roth IRA. Why? Because again, the benefit of the Roth, whether it's a Roth IRA, Roth 401k, inherited Roth IRA, is on the tax on the growth, which would be tax free, right? So have a bias, even if you're more conservative in nature right now with what's happening in the economy and the stock market, how it's moved over the past 18 months or so. Even if you're generally kind of more conservative, have the inherited Roth IRA be a little bit more aggressive or on the growth oriented side so that you can capture that upside whenever that returns. So, have you inherited a Roth IRA from someone? It's a purpose, that's a need for planning, and that's why you need a certified financial planner that can help, even if you haven't yet. Are you building up a Roth IRA that someone else may inherit? Think about these things as well as part of your comprehensive financial plan. Work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us here as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.